Hey, I'm JD. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe. Please hit like. And I got a little treat for you today. So this is a special video, and it's for Sonny Morehouse. So I'm making this video for Sonny. So Sonny is an interesting individual. He collects these particular watch movements. So I just watched a video on this particular watch movement and why. And this is a watch movement that's in mint condition. And it is a Elgin Convertible. So they call it a convertible because you could take this watch movement and very simply you remove this plate here. There's a gear on this side, and you take the gear and move it to this side. And the stem is over here, and you take the stem and move it to this side. And that allows you to take the watch that is currently in the hunter position, which is typical for the watches with, I'll say, lids on them, and move it to the 12 o'clock position, which is typical for an open face pocket watch. I should have one here for you as an example, but if you're in the pocket watch world, you know what I'm talking about. So that's what that's for. I've got this, finally got this in the mail from the US. Had a problem getting it because of the there was a mail strike in Canada. So what I wanted to see is I wanted to wind this up. Sorry it's upside down, but what do they say when you say sorry? Well, too bad. I wanted to see whether I could wind this thing, and I don't know if I can. I've got to get the right size key to fit on this. So this would be a smaller key. So if I just grab a key here randomly and say, okay, will this be the right key? Nope, too small. So we're going to do what we call the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, okay? And we're going to go from key to key to key until we find the right one. Oh, that's close. Oh, wait. I may have success here. Let me turn this around and see if things are moving. Yes. So it looks as though this is spinning, but it looks as though the mainspring is broken on this watch, because this would be turning and it would have some pressure on it, and the mainspring would be winding up, but the mainspring is not winding up. Doesn't seem to be a click involved either, which is interesting. Sonny can tell me whether there should be a click in there. So I'm going to end up having to take this thing apart to repair it. Now, what I heard in that video is that these watches usually came in solid gold cases, and that's why you can find the movements for them, but you're going to have a hard time finding this watch itself because it's a rare beast. See if I can change the color of my lighting here. There we go. And so I know this won't work that way, right? I could put a little tiny bit of pressure on the center wheel to see if I get any action with the escapement here. A little bit of pressure on the center wheel to see if that will move it. Perhaps no. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I think the little tiny bit of pressure on the arm, and this thing will start ticking. Right, so it's operable, which is nice, but it does need cleaning, and I do need to replace the mainspring because the mainspring is not working, and I have to see if there's also a click spring missing on this too. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful movement. I haven't done anything with this. It just came in the mail. I'm going to look up the serial number and see what the date is this. Maybe I'll look it up right now and I'll get right back. Okay, I found some information about this particular watch. So Elgin Watch Company, grade 86. This thing was produced in 1890, Model 2. Total production was 15,700. Grade unrealized production of 300. Size 16S, they go up to 18 size. 15 jewels, not too bad for back then. The jewels are pressed and friction setting. Movement configuration, so this is a convertible, so it's interchangeable, it says. A nickel finish on the movement. Gothic Blackletter. The movement inlay color is black. The movement setting is a lever setting. I'll show you that in a second. And the bridge plate, there's a bridge plate. 3 finger straight is nice. You can see the 3-finger design on the top right hand or left hand, no, the top right hand side of this particular picture. And the fingers are attached at the base. It just looks like they're not attached, but they are attached with a piece of metal at the base. It just makes them look very fancy. Going barrel, quick train Moseley regulator, hairspring. It's adjusted, yes. Adjusted to temperature, no. But it is a railroad grade watch, so that's very impressive. Very, very impressive. And there's the value of these watches, the movements specifically, because they're saying that these specific watches had usually pure gold cases. You can see the value in the diagram here. It's going way up, $400. Basically, the market is just blown up on these things. So from October this year to near Christmas, I think, probably it's a Christmas thing, and then it drops right off again probably in January. Everybody wants to buy their son a pocket watch. So the retail value is $335 to $440 for this, and then you can get as high as $275 in a working condition. They also sell for $240 in non-working condition. I paid, I think, $60 maybe for this, so I did it, but because I can repair these watches without a problem. So I got a very good deal for this particular watch. So when you look at the production starting in 1880 of these, or they made 1,000 of them in 1880, you go right up, and mine was somewhere in the mid 1887, 18 whatever. It said, I believe it said 1890 or something, but it was in the middle of the production run of these particular watches. And the reason they made them is because you could flip them from a hunter configuration to your normal open face configuration where the winding stem is at the 12 o'clock position. So here's the watch again. It's a real beauty, and I know that Sonny out there collects these, and he's got quite a collection of these watches. And I watched a gentleman take this apart and reconfigure it. So the barrel needs to come out, and a new mainspring needs to be put in for this particular watch. I won't do that at this point in time, but it is a beautiful, beautiful watch. So I'm going to refurbish this watch. It comes with the watch screws as well. The case screws are there. I likely can find a case for it. It also has a it's lever set, so the setting mechanism is right here, and you just take your finger or thumb or whatever and you pull out on that, and it should allow for the time to change, which allow you to change the time. I'm going to see if I can move this with my finger here. Maybe not. Good luck with that, buddy. Good luck with that. I'm going to grab a key here that's big enough for this thing. Let's try this one here. And I don't see any movement of the hands. Usually when you pull out the lever mechanism, it may have to go even further, I'm not sure, but you pull the lever mechanism and the hands will move. So we have a problem with the lever mechanism as well. So this is not working. So we got a couple of things not working on this watch. That's why I paid $60 for it. I think they saw me coming. So I probably will be able to fix the lever mechanism as well. I may need to get Sonny to give me a photo of this so I can understand how this is actually working, how the lever is actually working. And I've got to make sure that the gear is on the correct side for this. So the gear should be on the same side as this here. I'm just a curious George, so I'm going to unscrew this plate for a second here. I'm going to hold it with my hands while I do this. I don't normally do that. I would take the face and get it properly, take it apart, right? So, but I'm just going to hold it very tightly here and see if I can unscrew this. I need leverage because it probably hasn't been taken apart in 200 years. Well, 100 years anyway. So that's screw number 1. Just put that aside. Now, just to let you know, I've been repairing watches for almost 20 years now, and so it's not and being very busy at it, so it's not something where I repair a watch and take 10 years off. I've been very busy at it, so I know what I'm doing. I've never repaired one of these, though, so it's kind of interesting that the operation of this particular watch. And I know that by watching that video, I can tell that these were made by some pretty smart engineers. So yeah, so there's the gearing mechanism here, and this is, you normally take this out and move it to the other side, right? So this would go over to this side here, and then the yeah, that would go to the other side, and then the stem is underneath the plate here. So you'd take the screws out for the stem. I think the stem, this plate could probably or possibly come up, and then you take the stem out and then you wind it from this side. But because I cannot see the mainspring winding at all, I'm suspicious about this. Very suspicious. So it doesn't seem to be in contact, which means there could be something wrong with the setting mechanism here. If the setting mechanism is off at all, then it won't go back into position to allow the stem to move. See, the stem's moving freely, but there's no interaction here with the gears. So there's something strange going on, but when I move the gears, the stem is moving. Isn't this interesting? Oh yeah, there we go. So I've got some movement of the stem now. Seems like it's a positional thing. Not sure. I know when I take this off, there's a cam on the bottom. There's a gearing on, or teeth on the bottom, and when I take this, when this rides up a bit, then it won't mesh with these gears. So maybe that's what's happening here. I still think the mainspring's broken. I have to take it apart and maintain the mainspring. But for now, this is the Elgin Convertible, and Sonny does work on these watches all the time. He can give me a hint if he wants about what to do. Shouldn't be that bad. And I think that if there's something broken or missing, I can probably fix it. So without a problem. It doesn't set the time though, which worries me. So we'll strip this down perhaps tomorrow and have a look at this and see whether, what we need to do to get this back up and running again. I say we, and I really mean me. So that's it. That's the Elgin. Very beautiful watch, though. The movement and the face is in immaculate condition. So, and it has all of its hands and stuff. So I suspect the fix would be pretty easy for me to deal with. So that's it. I'm JD. Thanks for watching my channel. Please subscribe. Please hit like. Elgin National Watch Company. So this is an old watch, baby. She's old. Old, Jerry. Anyway, thanks a lot. I'll catch you later.